I'm in my farm and I'm getting ready for dry season farming. Dry season farming in Nigeria, actually, dry season crops, you can consider cassava and melon. Melon is very lucrative, and planting melon will yield you a lot of income and save you a lot of expenses. So last week I was here in the farm. I did some weeding. I got someone to do some ridges for me, or beds, and I planted cassava and egusi or melon. And today I'm right here again in another portion of the farm. I'm in the bush all alone. Have a look. Nobody is here. I'm here by myself. I'm actually waiting for someone who would help clear this bush and get the ridges done. I have my melon here, and I will be planting, hopefully, here, melon seed. So I'm going to put this right in the ground, and in 7 days, by the time I come here, I will see them sprouting up like I saw at the other farm very nearby. And while I'm waiting for this guy to come, I will be preparing whatever I'm going to plant. I will also mix my it's mixed cropping I'm actually doing. So I will have my cassava sticks prepared while I wait. Let's see what's going to happen. If it doesn't come, I call someone else to get it done. See you soon. Meanwhile, let me show you the nature of my farm. It is surrounded by water, streams all around it. And when it rains, it gets waterlogged. Everywhere is just full of water. We had a heavy downpour yesterday. In fact, last night, this morning. And we came to the farm and met it all wet. When it's the dry season, this is not the case. The place is actually dry. So the crop we are actually planting now is melon. With this last period of rainfall, melon is the best crop to be planted or cultivated, so that the first month of planting you could have a few rainfalls, and as time goes on, it's dry, and that's the best time to cultivate. Eventually, Gabriel came. That's him waiting. He will do the ridges afterwards. Taking off the spare grass from the ridges so that they do not grow out or back on time. The weeds can be terrible if they are right there. Even though weeding was done, we didn't clear right to the root. So one disadvantage of that is some early weeds growing on the farm. This is Olohi, and that's John helping me around in the farm. And here the rows are being made. He's a very strong man. He's been working for 2 days straight. This is the 3rd day. All alone, doing all of this farm. He's a hard worker. We need Nigerian youths who are as strong as this, who are willing to get to the farm and make things happen. This is the future of Nigeria. This is the future of the world. Food. Without food, there is no survival. Without food, there are no industries. We are tired of synthetic food. We need natural food grown all around so that we will be healthy. You see, this weeding was done by hand. We did not use chemicals. And that young man with his cutlass over there is doing justice to the grass. It was a thick bush, just like that over there. So we cleared part of it and we are using it for farming. Today is Saturday, and normally most people around here come to the farm. They get into the bush and make sure that they get some work done during the weekend. Then weekdays, people return to their offices or businesses. It's a sunny day. I guess it's about 35 degrees or so. It's early October. And what we are planting is cassava and melon. The rain is still falling. In fact, we had some drizzle this morning and rainfall yesterday's morning. The land is wet. So in a few days, there will be germination of the melon. Say in 5 days time, if I come back to this farm, I'm going to see how the melon is germinating. So my farm is made up of different parts. Joseph is over there weeding. We are here, we've been planting here on these heaps. That's Olohi. And John right there. And we're moving over to the next part of my farm. Here is the other part. We planted egusi. I'm excited to see that it's coming out actually really very well. Okay, that's good. So we'll be planting beans in between these rows of egusi. Pretty clean. I think I like this farm. It's still wet, even when some part is really very dry, like the hips we just left. Okay. Find somewhere to keep my things, and we'll be walking from under this tree. Beans, stay here. Woo! Bag. So how do you plant cassava? You plant from cassava sticks. Look, I have some cassava sticks here. They are not dead. I'm going to prepare them right now for planting. So stay tuned and watch me do it. So I have my cutlass that I'm going to use in cutting. I have to cut the cassava into some bits like 5 to 7 inches long. and they'll be ready for planting actually. So I have this one here. If you're not careful, you'll be planting a part of this cassava that will not even grow. This is actually dry. Here, look, it's dry. I'm pressing it and it's looking like foam. It's feeling like foam actually. So I have to look for the part that is still alive so that once I plant, I guess, look at this area. This place is already having leaf even without being in the ground. It was just lying on the ground and I picked it up this morning. So I will start cutting right from here because definitely this place is alive. You can see the color difference. Here is looking fresher and this place is looking brown and dry. So let's start working. And to cut, I have to look for a very flat surface to lay my cassava stick on so that I don't give it injuries. And my cutlass is right here. Hold it like this and hit. It's a bit smooth, even though it's looking like, oh, I injured this cassava. But no problem. It's gonna be okay. My knife isn't so sharp, so I have to get it sharp. This length is fine. Or here. I go again. This is not so good. I've injured my cassava so badly. This tells me that I have to sharpen my knife and use a little bit more force to have a smooth cut. So let's move on to sharpening my knife. Yeah, I brought this file for knives. It's a small file that you can easily use in sharpening your knife. So I'm gonna get on to the sharpening. When I'm done, I'm gonna come back and continue with the cutting. See ya! It's time to sharpen my knife. Here, I hope I will do it clean. Oh, okay. My knife is going to get ready. They'll be ready very soon. I don't need a very sharp knife to get cassava stick cut, but to make it easier and smooth, I gotta do it. Ooh. I'm right back with my sharpened knife. It's time to cut. Yeah, this is smoother this time. Let's do the same here. This is dry. Flat surface. Cut. Cut. Oops. Knife is still not so sharp, but I can do it. I'm fine with that. Better. It shows that I have to apply a little bit more force. So while you want to plant your cassava, you have to make sure you plant like this, because the leaves are coming up like this. If you do it like this, you'll be planting upside down. The leaves, this direction of growth of the leaves. So you plant into the ground so it grows out this way. So I am preparing cassava sticks for planting, and this is what we actually do. I'm going to break them into pieces like this so that we put them into the ground like that, and that's how they'll start growing. So I go like this, small bits and pieces. Another one. So make sure your cassava sticks are not dry. Cassava has been harvested from these ones and they are supposed to be waste, but actually they are not waste. You can replant them and you have more cassava. From these you can have a lot of cassava. This is one, and the second one comes like this. You see the leaves? This is the direction of the leaves. So you put it in the ground a bit and press it. Same thing here. Press. So you have to always check to make sure that this part is pointing up. That's leaf. Plant. Point it up. Hello, I'm right here in my farm today with Olohi, John and Joseph, and we're planting melon. Melon we planted on these heaps last week, but there are places that are left without melon planted. So today we are completing that and planting some other things. We are doing mixed cropping on these heaps. So we'll be planting melon. Okay, we planted melon. We'll plant 40 days beans. There's this beans they call 40 days beans. We'll plant it. So December we'll be harvesting it. And cassava. 3 crops on a heap. Let's see how everything goes. So subsequently I'll be showing you how progress and stuff like that. So watch me plant. So 2 seeds go there. And I cover it. So 2 seeds, 2 healthy seeds actually. Okay, that's 3 because one is not looking very promising. I'm going to leave here for cassava and beans. Cassava here, beans here, maybe. So, see ya. We are planting. Go plant. See ya. So this is step number 2. We are done with the melon planting. So melon are already growing on the ridges, or on the hips rather, not ridges. And right now we are planting beans. This is 40 days beans. This beans is ready in 40 days. So we're going to plant it in between the growing melons. And in between the melons we've planted today. So I have done this. We move on. Okay, I haven't planted here. Having 2 seeds in the hole, 2 or 3 seeds. So in between one melon, second melon, I have my beans, 3 seeds here. You can see melon all around here. So I'll take my planting down here for my beans to give a little space. Cover. I have to go for more beans. See ya. In between, right down there, I do that and drop. So right here, I drop some beans, and same here, right down there, beans, melon, beans, beans, one cell on, then beans. So I have I'm going to have beans right next to this melon. Now, notice that we have beans planted in between the melons or egusi. The melon is going to grow and spread on the ground. The beans will grow up a little. It won't spread so much. So we're going to have cassava here, and we'll continue. This is like an experiment. I was told it's going to be fantastic. So let's see how the progress will continue as we go on. It's an experiment. We will see. Huh? Another dime.
I like
So John,
sea rice.
time to rest. And I don't have the car rest. What you drinking? Now we brought a drink, right? This we call kunu or gruel. We brought it. This is a drink in the farm. It's an African drink. Very, very delicious. Yeah, let me show you how it is. Bring it closer. This is kunu. Cheers, John.
Cheers.
To the success of the farm. Cheers. This is how we relax in the farm. We do a lot of things while relaxing. Sometimes we go crabbing when we are relaxing. When we are relaxing, or we sit down and watch the birds for a short time before we go back to the sun to work. I have my hat here. It's for the sun to keep me calm while I'm walking, because the temperature is really high these days. It's November, early November, the first week of November in 2019, and we're getting to the dry season. The heaps are dry, really dry. So what we're doing is, as we're planting, we are watering. We have river. We're surrounded by a stream of water, so we're always watering while we look at this. Look at this thing perching on my hand. What is this? It's a bug, huh? Oh, it's gone. All right.
Idela.
I am here in my other farm planting 40 days beans. 40 days beans! In December we are harvesting. I'm really excited about those beans. Ugh, some fell on the ground. So I already planted. We already have melon here. Look, this is one, another, and like that. So in between here, I'm planting my beans. See, on the ground. So it's like one stride apart. One stride of leg apart. That's what I'm planting. I'm seeing that most melon did not grow here. So after planting beans, if we have time, we are coming back to replant melon on this row. Why are you going off, my readers? Yeah. Yeah, can you see? I just watered this part and I saw that the beans is growing. This is 40 days beans we planted on Saturday, and today is Monday. It is just 2 days old, and it's growing. I'm sure, but it's a place they felt they need to water the whole of these heaps.